What you want? Scary ass. No, whoa. Let me not. No, but this topic is about fear. A lot of people try to instill fear into others to, I don't know, assert dominance. But I'm gonna just say real dominance doesn't. You could say real dominance has fear to it, but I would say dominance would be that masculine trait that deserves respect, not necessarily fear. Because a ruler who rules with fear, hey, but a ruler that rules with respect, like he's gonna have more loyal servants to him who want to work for him in the proper way, not just people who are like, I'm afraid I'm gonna get killed if I don't listen. It's like, no, I want to listen to the king because he has all of our best interests in heart. A lot of people like to scare you into thinking they have your best interest in heart, when in reality, because you're so afraid, they're gonna lead you to where they want you to go. Now you could say it's like the sheep herder herding the sheep, herding the flock of sheep. And that's literally what it is. Like, fear will control you. The people that fear-monger, they do that to control you in many levels. Whether you want to say the government level or you want to say on a family level. Let's say, as a kid, your parents hold something over you like, oh, you better do this. And it's like, why? Because I'm your parent and I'll whoop your ass and you can't leave because you're a kid. That's a sense of fear-mongering. Like, when people try to instill fear over you, try to make you scared, you just have to sit and wonder, why are you trying to do that? Why are you trying to put fear in my heart? Because whether y'all are Christian or not, I'm going to just bring up God. Whether y'all are spiritual or whatever, y'all believe that there's a creation, so there's got to be a creator, so y'all believe in God. God didn't give us the spirit of fear. Where even like, and this goes to show in children. Children inherently aren't afraid of shit. Children are dumb in our eyes because they're fearless. And people think people who are fearless are dumb. When it's like, no, that's just courage. That's raw fucking courage. Like, it also is integrity. Just knowing who you are, being true to yourself. When you have integrity, you're not gonna be afraid of shit. You're gonna be like, I know who I am, I know my skills, my capabilities, I know what I can and can't do, so I'm gonna go for it because I believe I could do this shit. I'm not gonna be afraid of anything. I'm not gonna live in fear and let fear stop me. As in kids. Kids will do dumb shit. Kids will try and jump off of shit. Kids will kids are funny. And we laugh, but in reality, these kids have a type of imagination that just isn't conducive to Earth. Like, kids will be in a whole nother world, and the parents have been on Earth so long that we get stuck in our own, oh, this is society. We're adults. We have to do things this way. Don't do this because you could get hurt. And if you get hurt, like, so then we just don't want to influence our kids to do anything, like, out of fear. And that's what fear is. Fear is pretty much to stop you, to restrict you. Me personally, I don't try to make anybody fearful. If people do get scared around me, if people do show signs of fear, I'm just gonna be like, why are you afraid? Let's calm it down. Let's bring it back to a neutral. Like, there's no reason to drop your vibrations just because you're afraid. Because in the end, fear is all psychological. Someone has a gun to you with the finger on the trigger. That fear is only psychological. Like, the gun only has as much power as you give it. If you think, oh, that gun can end my life, no. Now the bullet can, but like seriously, as much power as you give something, that's how much power it has it. As in, let's say you simps. How much power do y'all give the pussy? Apparently enough to buy OnlyFans. If you want to spend your money on some shit like that, drop a bag on my Patreon. It's better than... Let me not go into it. But seriously though, fear will stop you from expressing yourself, expanding, seeing how far you can reach, simply because, ooh, last time I did that, this happened, or others will think of me this way, so I don't want to do it. Like, okay, me personally, I've never been the type to fall into peer pressure. So I just don't understand that. I don't understand being afraid of doing something because of the judgment of others. That's a societal pressure put into us to cause fear. But even then, that's only a community-based thing. Let's say you date interracially and you get with someone that's just not of your race. In your community, people may not like that, but you go to another community and people are totally accepting because no one gives a fuck. Like, it's all about what we choose to impose onto others, and really, it all comes back down to ourselves. When you're afraid of something, it all comes back down to you. People who are afraid of doing something because of how they look, it shows you're afraid of how you look. People who are afraid of failing, it goes to show that they're afraid that, like, they don't believe in themselves, you know? And people like to project their fear onto others. Me, I would consider myself someone who's overall fearless. Yes, I have fears, but in the end, if I got a fear, I'm gonna nip that shit in the bud. It's called courage, guys. It's called being brave enough to stand up and fight through your fears. That's how I started this YouTube channel. I've always been like, I want to record, I want to get on the camera, but there was always that subtle fear of whatever the fuck that was stopping me. I had to say, whatever that fear is, whether it's not being perfect, whatever it is, I need to get over that shit like right now, because if I want to start, I gotta start somewhere. And I'm not gonna let this fear stop me from doing the shit I want. Nigga, if you want to travel, don't be afraid. Don't be like, oh, I need a visa. Oh, what if there's an earthquake in Taiwan? Like, what? What? A lot of fear will have you bringing up random blockages. Like, you'll mentally manifest your own blockages in your way. Let's say, oh, I want to get this job. Oh, but the requirements are this and this and this. Like, you, in the end, you want the job. Are you gonna do what it takes to get it? You can make excuses. That's up to you. But seriously, having that fear, it blocks us in the sense of we can't be creative. We can't, like I said, express ourselves, expand. When we are afraid, we're gonna limit ourselves. So the more fearless you are, the more big you're gonna seem. The more brave you're gonna seem, man. Especially if you're not a dickhead. Like someone who's not afraid of shit, and then you're also just a dick. Like you're a menace. You're a menace. So those that are out here that are like, oh, Tyreek just says don't be afraid of shit. Like, no, do it the right way. Don't just go around not giving a fuck and popping off the mouth like, no, no. Cause niggas will smack you in the mouth and you better be afraid of those consequences. But seriously though, being taught, since we learn from our parents what we're afraid of, we're taught what to be afraid of as kids. And if you want to start breaking down your fears, I would say start with the irrational ones, like, oh, fear of spiders, fear of snakes, fear of swimming. Like, okay, swimming makes sense because you could drown, but if you could swim in controlled substances, then learn just to get over those fears. But like, you're not just gonna, oh, I'm socially anxious, so I'm gonna throw myself onto the stage in Coachella. Like, no, you're not just gonna jump into the deep, deep end of shit. You're gonna start by slowly taking down the small fears until you can start working on the fears that actually make you tremble and shake. And then when you get to the point to where even the scary shit is not so scary, then that's when you start fucking up life. That's when you start getting down and start being more free. Like, and there's always levels to it. No matter how fearless you are, there's things that are gonna stop you, but it's whether you're gonna let them stop you. Like, whether there's a wall in front of you, I would say being fearless is I'm gonna find a way around this wall no matter what. Whether it's through, whether it's around, whether it's over, I'm not gonna let this wall stop me. I wanna get to this end goal, and this is what's stopping me. So I'm not gonna doubt my own abilities to get around this obstacle. Hey, personally, I think fear is a simple thing to overcome. It's just, for starters, I feel like it's being aware of what you're afraid of. A lot of people don't even know why they're afraid of the things they're afraid of. Like, let's say, let's say you're about to pull up on a girl. You're walking and you see a chick. She looks bad, like a 10 out of 10. Literally break your neck trying to look. Why would you not go for it? Why not? Oh, cause what if she rejects me? What if I don't get her number? What if, nigga? What if? A lot of people are afraid. A lot of people think of the what ifs. Well, why make it a negative what if? What if it's positive? What if she do fuck with you? What if she does want to give you her number? And what if it does go down to something good? Nigga, you'll never know. Because you were too afraid to even open up that opportunity. And then here's the thing about being afraid. The shit we're afraid about is never even that big. What's the worst case scenario? You get rejected. Nigga, oh well. If you didn't do shit, that's just as bad as getting rejected, if not worse in my books. So, all I'm saying is fear will hold you back from living the life you want. And if you're a person of integrity, check out the last video, then you need to know how to be courageous and overcome your fears, because if you're someone who stands up for yourself, you're gonna overcome your fears simply off how much you love yourself. You're not gonna allow something to be so scary that you're not gonna stand up for who you are. Because if the levels of fear, and okay, that's what I'm trying to say. It's important for you to know how to love yourself, because if your levels of self-love are down here and your levels of fear are up here, there's no way you're beating fear. So either find the right people around you, or find the right person inside of you. Either ways, you need to find courage to get the shit that you want to go for. Like, personally, if I want to say beat fear, I would have to give you this. Find an objective. Determine why you want it. Determine, like, okay, for those that are overthinkers, find out all the blockages and then find out how you can overcome them. Simple. But for those that just be scared of shit and don't know why, just jump in and see how it goes. But that being said, don't be afraid to drop a like, subscribe. Definitely don't be afraid to comment. And hey, check the description. There's some scary shit down there. But I'll see y'all later.